Welcome into 23 ABC Sports. I'm Carrie Osep. I hope all of you are enjoying this holiday season. I know many of us need some joy back in our lives after the year we've had, but 2020 did bring some great sports moments to Kern County as well. From locals doing things on the big stage to homegrown talent coming back home, to the viral moments, to the championships, and of course to the tragedy that struck all of us. 2020 vision was exceptional through the sports lens. And just like we're going to be counting down to the new year, I'm going to help you count down the top 20 Kern County sports moments from the year 2020. And let's get things started with a look at number 20. Here we go. From Garces Memorial to Cal State Bakersfield to traveling across the world, basketball took Stephon Carter places. And this year, it brought him back home. It was announced in the summer that the Rams and Runners' all-time leading scorer was going to take over the Centennial boys basketball program. While he may be coaching his rival high school team, Carter's extremely grateful to bring his love of hoops to a new generation of high school ballers.
To give back to Bakersfield and to be a coach is, almost a dream come true. So I'm going to take it in and just, go with the wave.
Number 19. 2020 was a year of defining moments for women in sports. And right here in Kern County, 15-year-old driver Kiersey Young is making a name for herself, her city, and for female race car drivers in the junior late model division. Her second season in the series after winning 8 championships in younger divisions of racing. This year, she continued chasing her dreams of one day racing for NASCAR.
I want to see more females in this sport because I don't want it to be considered a male-dominated sport for as long as it has been.
Number 18. The Raiders have been known for relocation, and this year they made Las Vegas their official new home. Bakersfield's Derek Carr, quarterback for the Vegas Raiders, entered the new era for his team with big-time wins over the Saints and Chiefs, endured a few COVID-19 outbreaks, and finished some crucial comeback drives.
Carr put some air under it, wide open is right.
Despite the team missing out on playoffs this season, Raiders still brought some hype by introducing the city of Vegas to the NFL and now to the silver and black. Number 17. Carr wasn't the only Bakersfield athlete repping in Vegas this year. Local professional boxer Miguel Contreras, known as Caveman, not only had his Las Vegas debut televised on ESPN, but he won by unanimous decision at the MGM Grand, knocking off undefeated fighter Rolando Vargas to remain 11-0. The Bakersfield boxer later signed with a well-known boxing agent to help further his professional career. While he continues training in town with fellow Kern County Fight Club athletes, 2020 proved to be a big year for the young boxer.
I have humble beginnings starting at the Powell Center, and to think I actually fought at MGM Grand, where some of the greatest fighters to ever fight, and to represent Bakersfield, it's an honor, and I definitely felt a lot of love come from the city, so that felt good as well.
Number 16. Adding to a list of adversity for athletes this year, Independence grad DJ Reed started off the year playing in the Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers, where they lose 31-20 to the Kansas City Chiefs. He then suffered a pectoral injury in the offseason and was waived by the Niners before eventually getting picked up by the Seattle Seahawks. Cue to the middle of the season where he'd make his Seahawk debut against his former team and end up with the interception. Always out to prove his versatility, he shifted positions in the secondary throughout the rest of the season and handled kickoff and punt return duties. He's making the most of this second chance in the league with his sights set on another Super Bowl appearance.
Man, I'm hungry right now. We just clinched the playoff spot, and obviously, our goal is to win the Super Bowl. And if we don't win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, the season was a failure.
Now we're going to continue the countdown, starting off with number 15, which features one Bakersfield baller who not only used her talent, but also her voice when the spotlight was the brightest. Number 15. When the WNBA got their season started this year, Erica McCall didn't have a team. But soon enough, she joined the Wubble in Bradenton, Florida with the Atlanta Dream. After a few games, she'd be waived, but a day later, she'd join the Minnesota Lynx, the team she'd reach her first ever WNBA semifinals with. McCall may have not reached the ultimate goal of playing in the finals this season, but she was able to reinvigorate her game and, more importantly, use her platform to bring awareness for the fight of racial inequality and injustice along with the entire WNBA.
Outside of basketball players and professional athletes, we are human. We are Black humans who have to deal with racial injustice every single day. And so because we have to deal with it every single day, that's what we're fighting for.
Number 14. When the sports world was shut down back in March, Kern County didn't know when it would see its first competition. The Cal State Bakersfield basketball programs would be the first to host that honor. Starting with the men's team, they officially brought ball back to Bakersfield with a stunning 94-43 win over Bethesda on December 7th. Then the ladies graced the blue court on December 11th, although falling to Santa Clara. It hasn't been easy, but both teams are grateful to once again be playing the game they love, and of course, we're loving to see it.
It's just tough because, we didn't have a summer, and then it was up and down when we were in the summer, but I think as far as where we're headed right now, I think we're down a good road.
It's a good thing to see, especially when you just didn't know when you were going to play at all. To be able to see everybody out there getting baskets, playing together and looking like a team, it's a blessing.
Number 13. We can't forget when high school sports were around and on the pitch. Kern County soccer teams were showing out during Valley Championship time. In February, 8 local schools were competing for that Valley title, and 4 of them would bring home the honor. Garces Memorial and Foothill Boys Soccer claimed back-to-back titles, while Arvin Girls repeated for the championship, and Centennial Girls won their first Valley title since 1996. It may feel like years ago now, but even a pandemic couldn't have quieted those celebrations. Number 12. It's not every year you get to see more than one athlete make an NFL roster from Bakersfield. This year, we got 2, and they both played for Liberty High School. Former Patriot teammates turned Packers teammates had different journeys to the league, but somehow both ended up in Green Bay. Utah State quarterback Jordan Love heard his name called in the first round, the first Bakersfield athlete to go in the opening round since David Carr went number 1 overall in 2002, while UCLA linebacker Chris Barnes waited for his call as he signed with the team as an undrafted free agent. The two friends continue to soak up this unique experience and are even rooming together in Green Bay. Number 11. When we all needed some joy this year, one Tehachapi senior made sure to lift our spirits while lifting some record-breaking weights. Garrett Alcaraz, who just so happens to have Down syndrome, set a school bench press record in May, lifting 355 pounds. The video of him lifting that weight went viral, racking up millions of views after being shared by ESPN SportsCenter, followed by countless others. I caught up with the youngest of the Alcaraz bunch and a few from his family of 10 during that time, and I don't think my smile has yet to wear off. Garrett is exactly what we needed in 2020. Number 10. Back in 1988, both the Los Angeles Dodgers and Lakers won championships. Cut to the year 2020, and both teams are ready to do it again following a year marred by tragedy and uncertainty. First, the Lakers won their 17th NBA Finals title, beating the Heat with a 4-2 series win in early October in the NBA bubble, their first championship since 2010 when Kobe Bryant was still running the court, and of course, the legacy they were playing for this season. Then the LA Dodgers followed it up with the World Series title win over Tampa Bay, also in Game 6 with the 3-1 win over the Rays in Arlington, Texas. After a 32-year drought, this was their 7th overall title. Although both teams weren't in the city of LA to celebrate, the celebrations were felt all over, including right here in Kern County. Number 9. Earlier this year, Bakersfield senior Josiah Hill became the first driller since 2017 to win a state title at the Wrestling State Championships in late February at Mechanics Bank Arena. The heavyweight finished his record-setting career with a pin to earn the title of the top wrestler in the state.
It's probably the highlight of my year, sitting out, having everybody I love in the stands, getting to point at them, and then seeing me win is just an unexplainable feeling.
Meanwhile, on the girls' side, Frontier's Alyssa Valdivia didn't have the ending she wanted in her final match, but she finished a historic run as state runner-up in the 106 weight class. Just the 3rd girl from Kern County to place as high as 2nd place, and she did all of that after a year off from wrestling due to injury. Number 8. The beginning of the shutdown hit Kern County first in Las Vegas, as the Cal State Bakersfield basketball teams were set to end their time with the Western Athletic Conference in the conference tournament. Neither one of the runners' teams would get to play after the women had to watch their game be postponed, then canceled during warm-ups both times, as everyone followed the news of the COVID-19 pandemic starting to hit right here in America.
One of those things where it's a domino effect, and so with everything that's happened, that's why it's not odd right now, because everything is happening so fast, and so it hit us.
Along with the conference tourneys across the country, the NBA would also announce the news to suspend their season, while the NCAA soon after canceled March Madness. Little did we all know how long this massive wide shutdown would last. Number 7. Following a state championship run by the Bakersfield Christian Eagles football team, the BCHS boys basketball team was poised to do the same. With Garrett Brown in his first year as head coach, he led this talented team to the Division IV state championship game with a 27-6 record, along with a perfect league record in that Valley championship. The Eagles had nothing but confidence heading into Sacramento.
It's super fun. All the support we're getting from fans, family, friends, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. It's amazing.
Along with BCHS, the East Bakersfield girls basketball team also punched a ticket to the Golden One Center. Head coach Bobby Sharp was set to make his turnaround of this program complete with a state title after having been a part of Foothill State Championship as an assistant back in 1988. With the leaders and the talent to do so, the Blades were looking to continue to make history, joining their first Valley Championship at Selland Arena with a state title.
It's hard to express how important this is to our families, to our players, to our school, and to everybody on the east side where I grew up. You know, that's my neighborhood.
This was the second straight season Kern County was sending 2 teams to play in state title games, although they wouldn't even have a chance. We'll get to that. And I also want to give a shout out to the Lady Drillers who secured their 3rd straight Valley title in Division I this year as well. Number 6. We've all seen happier years, but that wasn't the case for Happy Harvick. Coming back from the postponement of the NASCAR season, North High grad Kevin Harvick was exceptional. He'd rattle off 9 wins, accumulating 20 top 20 finishes, and clinched the 2020 regular season title. And this seemed to be the year Harvick could claim the Cup Series after winning that championship back in 2014. But some struggles at Martinsville held him from joining the Championship 4 in Phoenix and ended his overall dominant playoff run. This Bakersfield native, though, still managed to make 2020 something to smile about, especially for his fans back home. It's safe to say it's been a big year for local athletes both near and far, and it's been a tough year, but sports has been able to bring us back some normalcy, some joy, and of course, some reflection. And that's where we start the countdown today. Number 5. Without sports happening on the fields or the courts, I thought it was a unique chance to bring conversation to the table. And for the first time ever, 8 local head coaches, all representing different backgrounds professionally and personally, joined a roundtable discussion on racial inequality and injustice, a topic so many have been fighting to bring awareness to this year. These men had an honest and vulnerable discussion, sharing their own experiences and perspectives as we all try to talk through how to make a safer and more loving community for them, their families, and their teams. Out of Bounds was something I was incredibly grateful to be a part of this year. Number 4. While conversations were being had, Bakersfield College was taking action. This year, BC hired its first ever African-American athletic director in Reggie Bolton and head football coach in R. Todd Littlejohn. These hirings broke racial barriers not only for the school but for the county as a whole, as both men look forward to bringing more equality into their communities.
African Americans can be put in leadership roles and thrive in those roles. And I think it's very important for young African Americans to see people that look like them in leadership roles.
Number 3. In sports, the cliche goes, make the most of every opportunity. There was one person who's been doing that this year. It's been Chris Barnes. The Liberty grad joined the Green Bay Packers as an undrafted free agent and landed on the practice squad, but was soon elevated to the active roster and earned a starting role. He's proven throughout the season the difference he can make at linebacker, totaling 66 tackles through 12 games, 3rd best on the team, and has even had some game-defining moments as the Packers recently clinched the NFC North title. Barnes reminding all of us it doesn't matter where you start, but how you finish. Number 2. One of the biggest memories from this year for Kern County will be the overall shutdown on sports. It started with college and then hit high schools, as athletes all across the county first had their spring seasons canceled in March and have missed out on competitions and normalcies of practice ever since.
This is probably it for a lot of them, so it's a memory lost. You only get 4 years of high school and they say how fast it goes, and you lose one of those years, at least from a track perspective. It makes it pretty tough.
Despite these athletes not having the opportunity to do what they love this year, they battled to create opportunities for themselves. From the home workouts to many still signing national letters of intent to continue their careers, we could learn a thing or two about handling adversity the way all of these kids have been able to. Number 1. 2020, unfortunately, will be remembered by starting off with the tragic helicopter crash that took the lives of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, and 7 others on board. including 3 members of the Altobelli family. While the heartbreak of this tragedy was felt worldwide, it also personally hit the hearts of those here in Kern County, including Bakersfield College baseball coach Tim Payton, who was friends with John Altobelli through the baseball community.
I knew John for 30 years. And give me a second. A tragic day. We lost a basketball icon. We lost a coaching icon as well.
And for many in the local basketball community, they wouldn't be in their sport without the legacy and mantra left by all-time Lakers great Kobe Bryant on and off the basketball court.
We reverend sports people, so that was a big hit. I truly believe that he was heading towards being a legend off the basketball court. You've seen him lately with his daughter all the time. He talked about his wife all the time. He talked about his kids all the time. So you really see him using his mama mentality off the floor into all the other endeavors that he had.
His mentality and his approach to the game is just, it was incredible. And that's something that we use amongst our team. And I won't stop talking about him. He will continue to live on through my words.
Whether the Mamba had a major impact on your life or not, the tragedy was this year's first reminder of not taking those you love for granted and just how fragile life is. It also brought us the Girl Dad message, as Kobe's greatest accomplishment was being a father to his 4 daughters. A message close to my heart. And thank you for sharing your Girl Dads with me as well, Kern County. 2020 has definitely been a year to remember, especially in the sports world. I hope you enjoyed our countdown, and I also hope you took some inspiration from both the highs and the lows from this year. I've been so grateful to share the stories from the sports world in 2020, and I look forward to sharing more of your stories in 2021. For 23 ABC Sports, I'm Carrie Osep. Happy New Year, everyone.